Close your eyes for a moment and imagine waking up tomorrow in a life that feels brand new. Not because you won the lottery, not because someone came and rescued you, but because you finally broke free from the invisible cage you've been living in. The cage built by your own thoughts, habits, and emotions. Now open your eyes and look around. How many days have you lived on repeat? Same thoughts, same emotions, same reactions, same routine. You tell yourself you want to change, to be calmer, healthier, more successful, more present. And maybe you try, but by noon, you're already back to scrolling through your phone, drowning in anxiety, snapping at people you love, or doubting yourself in silence. Why does it feel so hard to change, even when you desperately want to? That's the question that breaking the habit of being yourself answers, not with fluff or fake motivation, but with powerful truths backed by science. Dr. Joe Dispenza doesn't just give you another pep talk. He gives you the map to a revolution inside your brain, a revolution that could set you free. He reveals something radical, that your personality creates your personal reality, that every thought you think, every emotion you rehearse, and every choice you make is literally programming your future. And if you keep thinking the same way, you'll keep living the same life, no matter how much you wish otherwise. But here's the hope. Just because you've been living on autopilot doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human, and it also means, with the right tools, you can change, not by pretending, not by pushing harder, but by learning how to reprogram the subconscious mind that's been running your life without your permission. This book shows you how to step into the quantum field, a space where your thoughts don't just influence reality, they create it, where your old self dissolves and a new version of you, calm, powerful, and limitless, is born. So if you're ready to stop living by memories of your past and start creating a vision for your future, if you're tired of trying to fix your life from the outside and want to finally master it from the inside, then stay with me till the end. Because by the time this summary is over, you'll understand not just why you're stuck, but exactly how to break free. Your new self is waiting. Let's begin. The quantum you. What if I told you that your life isn't just unfolding based on luck, circumstance, or even hard work, but on the invisible energy of your thoughts? In this chapter, Dr. Joe Dispenza invites us into a world that goes far beyond logic and into the strange, powerful realm of quantum physics. Not to confuse us with science, but to wake us up to a new truth. Your thoughts are not just things. They are forces, they are frequencies, and they are shaping your reality in ways most people never realize. Most of us grew up believing in a Newtonian model of the world, that the universe is like a giant machine made of fixed parts, moving in predictable ways. In that world, cause and effect rule everything. You take an action, and you get a result. You work hard, and maybe you succeed. But everything moves in a straight line, slow, external, limited. Quantum physics tells a different story. It reveals that beneath the surface of everything is pure energy, a field of infinite possibility where time doesn't work the way we think, and particles can exist in multiple states at once, depending on the observer. In simple terms, reality changes based on how you observe it. That's right. You're not just watching your life unfold. You're participating in it. You are, in fact, influencing it with your thoughts, your focus, your beliefs. And the more emotion you add to those thoughts, the more powerful your influence becomes. This is the quantum model of reality, and in this model, you don't have to wait for something external to change your internal state. You don't have to wait for success to feel worthy, for love to feel whole, or for healing to feel alive. Instead, you generate those feelings first. You align your thoughts and emotions with the life you want, not the one you're stuck in. And that's when something magical happens. When your mind and body begin to believe in a new reality before it actually exists, you open the door to that reality in the quantum field. You collapse potential into actual experience. You create. You don't wait for the future. You become the future. But here's the catch. To live in this new way, you have to let go of being who you've always been. You have to stop thinking of yourself as just a body in space and time. You have to stop identifying with the story of your past. Because every time you wake up and think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and do the same things, you reinforce the same old reality. To break the habit of being yourself, you must first understand you are not just a victim of circumstance. You are a creator of it, and your mind is more powerful than you've ever been told. The question now is, will you keep thinking in the same familiar patterns, or are you ready to step into the unknown and design a future that's beyond anything your past could predict? Because in the quantum world, anything is possible. You just have to believe it before you see it. Overcoming your environment. Take a moment to think about how much of your daily life is driven by what's around you: your home, your job, your phone, your habits, your schedule, your relationships. Whether you notice it or not, your environment is constantly triggering thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You wake up in the same room, reach for your phone, scroll through familiar apps, feel the same reactions, and boom, you're already being pulled back into your old self. In this chapter, Dr. Joe Dispenza reveals a deep truth. Your outer world is not just shaping your life, it's controlling your identity. And if you let your environment define how you think and feel, then you're not creating anything new. You're just recycling the past. Let's say you had a painful breakup, a failure, or a trauma. That experience left an emotional imprint. Now, whenever you see something that reminds you of it, a song, a message, a place, your body relives that moment. It doesn't just remember, it reacts. That's because your body has become conditioned to your past, and your environment is constantly triggering that conditioning. The result? You stay stuck in a loop. You keep thinking the same thoughts, which produce the same feelings, which reinforce the same behaviors. And those behaviors create the same experiences, which then trigger the same thoughts all over again. Dr. Dispenza calls this the familiar past, and as long as you live there mentally and emotionally, you can't enter a new future. No matter how badly you want to change, your body keeps you anchored to what it already knows. But here's the breakthrough. If your environment can shape your mind, then your mind can also reshape your environment. The secret lies in turning your attention inward, in learning to observe your thoughts and emotions without reacting to them. When you stop giving your environment the power to dictate how you feel, you begin to reclaim control. You stop being a slave to your circumstances and start becoming the author of your destiny. This doesn't mean you need to move to a mountain or quit your job. It means you need to rise above your surroundings, mentally and emotionally, and start acting like the person you want to become, even if your outer world hasn't caught up yet. Because that's how change happens. Not by waiting for life to improve so you can feel better, but by feeling better first so life has no choice but to follow. You must train your brain and body to experience the future before it happens. You must become so connected to the feeling of your desired life that no external condition can pull you back into your old self. That's what it means to overcome your environment. Because once you stop reacting to the world and start creating from within, you're no longer living as the product of your past. You're living as the possibility of your future. And that is where transformation begins. Overcoming your body. Think about this. How often has your body taken over your life without you even realizing it? You decide to wake up early and meditate, but your body begs for more sleep. You promise to eat healthy, but your hands reach for that snack before your mind even objects. You plan to stay calm in a stressful situation, but your heart races, your muscles tighten, and before you know it, you've already reacted the same old way. In this powerful chapter, Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that if you truly want to change, you have to understand one uncomfortable truth. Your body has memorized your emotions, your habits, your routines, and even your identity better than your conscious mind has. That's because every time you think a thought, you create a chemical in the brain. And every time you feel that chemical emotion, your body reacts. The more you repeat this cycle, the more your body learns to feel before your mind even thinks. Eventually, your body becomes the unconscious mind. So when you say, "I want to change," but your body says, "No, this is who we are," that's the real battle. You're not fighting laziness. You're not fighting fear. You're fighting the emotional addiction of your body, an addiction to feeling angry, insecure, worried, guilty, or even unworthy. Because as strange as it sounds, your body has gotten comfortable with those familiar emotions. It craves them. And here's the challenge. To change your life, you must break that emotional addiction. You must teach your body how to feel a new way, how to live in trust instead of fear, in abundance instead of lack, in wholeness instead of survival. But this doesn't happen overnight. The moment you try to step into the unknown, to think new thoughts, feel new emotions, and do new things, your body will protest. It will whisper excuses. This is uncomfortable. This is scary. Let's go back to what we know. And unless you're conscious, you'll obey. That's why true transformation isn't just mental, it's physical. You literally have to sit with the discomfort, breathe through the cravings of the old self, and override your body's impulses until your new mind becomes the master. You're not punishing the body, you're retraining it. This is the work of becoming supernatural, calming the racing heart, releasing the tight chest, breathing through the anxiety, and choosing to feel gratitude before there's anything physical to be grateful for. Because when you feel elevated emotions ahead of the evidence, you teach your body that it can trust a new reality. You start moving from survival to creation, and eventually your body will no longer resist the future. It will embrace it. So if you've ever wondered why you struggle to break habits, why change feels so hard even when your mind is all in, now you know. Your body has been running the show. But once you take the power back, once you show your body how it feels to be the new you, that's when the real transformation begins. Overcoming time. Time. It's the silent ruler of our lives. We wake up to alarms, chase deadlines, count days, and plan our futures based on calendars and clocks. But have you ever stopped to ask, what if the real prison isn't your schedule, but your perception of time? In this chapter, Dr. Joe Dispenza takes us deeper into the illusion, the one that convinces us that change must take time, that healing, success, happiness, all of it lies somewhere in the future. And so, we wait, we hope. We grind through each day, believing that one day, when the circumstances are right, when we've done enough, then we'll feel different. But here's the truth, that one day never comes, because we're living by the wrong model of time. Most people live by what's called the Newtonian model, where cause comes first and effect follows. In this mindset, if you want to feel joyful, you need something joyful to happen. If you want success, you need to achieve something first. Time moves in a straight line, and we're forever chasing results in the future. But the quantum model flips that entirely. It says, to change your life, you don't wait for the event. You create the emotion first. You don't wait for healing to feel whole. You don't wait for love to feel worthy. You become the person who already feels those things right now, regardless of what your current life looks like. Because in the quantum world, time doesn't flow from past to future. It collapses into the present moment. And it's in this moment, right here, that you can access every possibility. Think of it this way. If your thoughts and emotions are always the same, day after day, then you're emotionally living in the past. And if your dreams always feel just out of reach, then mentally, you're living in the future. But to create a new reality, you must bring all of your attention to now, because the present moment is where true creation happens. It's in the now that you break the habit of being yourself. It's in the now that you interrupt old patterns. It's in the now that you tell your body, this is no longer who I am. When you meditate, when you close your eyes and tune out the world, you step outside of time. You step into the eternal now, the place where your future already exists, and your new self is waiting to be claimed. But this requires discipline, because the moment you start thinking about your to-do list, or worrying about tomorrow, or replaying yesterday's pain, you slip out of creation and back into conditioning. So ask yourself, how often are you really present? Because the more you train your brain and body to live in the present, the more you feel elevated, grateful, inspired, and whole right now, the faster your external world will shift to match that frequency. Time will no longer be something you chase. It will be something you transcend. And in that timeless space, you will find the power, not just to imagine your new life, but to become it. Survival versus creation. Imagine this. You're being chased by a tiger. Your heart races, adrenaline surges, and your body gets ready to either fight or run. That's the survival state, and it's built into us for good reason. But here's the problem. Most people are living in this state every single day, even when there's no tiger, no real threat. Just bills, deadlines, arguments, insecurities, and fear. In this chapter, Dr. Joe Dispenza reveals a stunning truth. When we stay stuck in survival mode, constantly stressed, anxious, or reactive, we literally shut down the parts of our brain and body that are meant for growth, healing, and creativity. When you're in survival, your focus narrows. You think short term. Your body prioritizes defense, not creation. Your brain is on high alert, always scanning for danger. And emotionally, you're trapped in fear, anger, frustration, or guilt, all of which signal to your body, we're not safe, don't grow, don't relax, don't dream, just survive. But the life you truly want, full of joy, purpose, health, love, abundance, that doesn't come from surviving. It comes from creating. Creation happens when your brain and body feel safe, when you shift from stress to calm, from fear to gratitude, from reaction to intention. That's when new ideas flow. That's when your body begins to heal. That's when your energy changes and your future begins to align. But let's be honest, shifting out of survival isn't easy. We've become addicted to the rush. Some people need their stress to feel alive. Others don't know who they are without their problems. That's why it takes awareness. You must first recognize when you're operating from survival, the racing thoughts, the tight chest, the shallow breath, and interrupt the pattern. Dr. Dispenza calls this choosing creation over reaction. It means learning to step out of the chaos of the moment and ask, what emotion would the future me feel right now? How would the healed version of me act? How would the abundant version of me think? And then, even if it feels unfamiliar, you start embodying that version of yourself. You breathe deeper. You slow down. You stop giving away your energy to fear. You teach your body that it's safe to relax and to trust. Because that's where miracles happen. Not when you're rushing to survive, but when you're calm enough to create. So ask yourself right now, are you living in reaction or creation? Because the choice you make in this moment will shape not just how you feel, but who you become. Meditation, demystifying the mystical. When you hear the word meditation, what comes to mind? For many, it's something spiritual, distant, or even mysterious, reserved for monks, yogis, or people with hours of free time and perfect peace. But in this chapter, Dr. Joe Dispenza brings it down to earth and then lifts it higher than you've ever imagined. Meditation, as he explains, is not about escaping reality. It's about rewiring it. It's the tool, the daily practice, that allows you to break free from the old self and begin building the new. It's how you disconnect from your outer world, your body, and your concept of time, and drop fully into the present moment where change actually happens. Dr. Dispenza says, to change is to think greater than your environment, to think greater than your body, and to think greater than time. And meditation is how you do that. When you sit quietly with yourself, close your eyes, and begin to observe your thoughts instead of becoming them, something extraordinary happens. You stop running the old programs. You stop reacting to your emotions. You stop clinging to the identity shaped by your past. Instead, you become the awareness behind all of it. And from that place, you're free to choose something new. That's where the mystical begins, not in fantasy, but in biology. When your brain waves slow down, when your heart becomes coherent, when your energy aligns, your entire state of being begins to shift. You step into the quantum field with clarity. You send out a new signal. You start attracting experiences not from your past, but from your vision. This is not about religion or blind faith. It's about science, measurable, observable, and repeatable. People who follow this process begin to heal illnesses, release trauma, attract opportunities, and feel states of love and bliss they never imagined possible. Not because they were lucky, but because they practiced becoming someone new. The mystical, then, isn't separate from you. it is you. Once you move beyond your limited mind and step into the infinite. Meditation is the bridge. And yes, it requires work. Yes, it's uncomfortable at first. Yes, your old self will fight it. But each time you sit down and choose presence over distraction, intention over habit, creation over survival, you take one more step toward your new reality. Because the truth is, no one's coming to save you. The transformation you seek, the healing you long for, the freedom you crave, it's already within you. You just need to be quiet enough, still enough, present enough to unlock it. And that, my friend, is where the real miracle lies. So, what if the person you've always been is just a habit, a collection of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors on repeat? And what if the life you've been waiting for is already waiting for you, hidden behind the patterns you're finally ready to break? Breaking the habit of being yourself isn't just a book. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that you are not stuck. You are not your past. You are not defined by your body, your environment, or your circumstances. You are a creator, a powerful, intelligent force with the ability to think greater than your fear, feel greater than your pain, and live greater than your reality. This summary gave you a glimpse into the science, the process, and the possibility. But the real transformation, that begins with a choice, your choice, to step into the unknown and start becoming who you were always meant to be. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need a decision and the courage to sit with yourself and begin. If this audiobook summary inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video if it gave you value. Comment below with the one insight that struck you the most. I'd love to hear it. And subscribe to the channel if you're ready for more powerful summaries that help you grow, heal, and transform. Remember, the power to change your life doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and imagine not who you've been, but who you're becoming. Because you're not just breaking the habit of being yourself, you're building the habit of becoming something greater. Stay strong, stay conscious, and keep creating.